Alright, seems like I started a bit early, but that's all fine. We'll good. Okay. So welcome back to my next tutorial for Python, and today we are going to be doing Tkinter, as you can already read by the title. Now, Tkinter is basically a GUI toolkit which you can use to create graphical user interface (GUI). Now, usually it does not require a separate installation, but in case you do not have it, you can just use pip install Tkinter, and you have to type this in the Windows PowerShell. But usually with your Python downloading, it comes up, right? So you don't really have to download it separately. Sometimes there can be exceptions if you are doing an advanced downloading, which means you're downloading only specific things, or like choosing what to download, what to not, and where to download it. So, without further ado, we will start by um, programming our small application. Now, I'll also be telling you a few concepts in the same time. All right. So first of all, we have our first method, which is called .tk. Now, tk will basically just a second. There's a little bit of lag. Right. So I was saying. So we have our main method, which is called takeInter dot tk. Right. Now this method basically creates your main window. But a more effective way to use this is by putting it in a variable, which I will be calling as main or screen. Let's go for screen. So I'll be doing screen equals, just a minute, right? So I'll be doing screen equals takeInter.tk, right? Now we have created our window, but the window will not open up as long as you don't start up your main loop. Now, how do you start your main loop? Is basically main loop is a function on its own. What it does is it's used to run your application when it is ready. So between your .tk and your main loop, there will be a set of code, right? So main code goes here, and then we have screen dot main loop, right? Just like that. And now if you run it, and there you go. Your taking your window is here, but it might not be visible. Now, if you can see on the screen, you will notice that there is a small white blob. Now, that blob is the main screen we have created. But the problem is that I can't really display it because, well, it's simple that my main screen, I didn't add it in my streaming software yet. So let's just get it through. Now, we have our main screen loaded up over here. And what we'll be doing next is we have to edit to this little screen we have created. So let's go back to our code, and now the next thing we'll be doing is we'll be adding a few widgets, right? So uh, let's say we will have a button called mm, B. So B equals Tkinter dot button and our master screen, which means the master screen is this, the variable which we have declared as .tk. So we'll do our master as screen, and then now uh the second thing we will need is an option on the button. So let's say text would be okay, right? Now if we run this once more and close the old window, right, as you can see, seems like it didn't get added well. Oh wait, right, I forgot. So before while you're adding any widget, any component in your screen, what you will have to do every single time is you will have to pack it. So to pack it, you just do b dot pack and then two brackets, right? Let's also give this a certain width, which would be, let's say, 25, right? And now if we run this, I'll just close the old window. Now if I'm sure if I run this, there we go. As you can see, I have enlarged it a bit, and you can see I have a single button which says OK. That's it. That's all for. I'm clicking it currently. You can even see it, right? I'm clicking. Right. Let me just pull out the window a bit and make it bigger for the screen. Right. So as you can see, I can easily click this button around. No biggie, and it's working pretty perfect. That is nice. But it does barely anything. It's useless. So how do we give it a sort of function? So let's give it a function which we will write as, let's say the text will be closed. So it will basically close the window. Now, to give it a certain function, we just type we just give it another parameter which we'll call as command, and then that should be equal to screen dot destroy. Right now, you don't need to put brackets here. We're good without brackets. So now what this will do is it will basically close the window. Let's give it a height parameter as well. Let's say height is 30. Right? So we'll just do command equals screen dot destroy. Now this entire program will not terminate until I don't close the window. So let's close the window and it'll start up again. Now if you can see, we have it a little better now. Right, so let me just pull out the window a bit so you can see it a bit. Right? Now you can see we have one single button here that says close, and it's a huge button. And as soon as I click it, it closes the window. So how about we just pull down the height a bit down to 10, because that was way too huge, right? Now you can see the entire screen currently is just the button. I can just pull it right up a little bit, and as you can see, it's just a single button. And if I click it, it closes the window. So that was how the command works. Now the command can be anything. So that was for small buttons. Now what if you need more to it? What if, because this looks very boring, you'll have to expand the window yourself, which is very, very, very boring. I mean, who would want to do that? That is quite sad. So what you could do is you could set the Windows geometry. So your main screen, your window, could have its own geometry using the geometry method. And in this, instead of putting number values, we will put a string in which we can say anything. For example, we can do 200 into 400, and this is in pixels. So if I run this, and it should open up in here, you can see this is 200 by 400 pixels. Let's just say it's 400 by 400 pixels because 200 seems way too small for me. So we just close this and open it once more. Right, as you can see, we have now got a huge window that says close in this little button here. And when I click it, it closes the window. Very, very simple, right? Now what we could do is we could create check buttons. Right, so we can create check buttons. How do we do that? Now that is very, very simple. So let's just take out our button, our basic button real quick, and let's create a single variable which we'll call as uh, mail equals, and then what we can do is we can just do int bar, right? Did I go somewhere wrong? Just a minute. Alright, so if you want some variable to have the value of another object, like a check button or something, instead of typing import Tkinter, we have to do something different. We can do from Tkinter, we will import everything, right? And this basically makes things more extensive, allowing you to get um more possibilities, basically. And now we do not need the Tkinter dot, so we can just start with tk and we have int bar. So what we can do is we can do m equals check button, right, with uh, our master as screen, right? Then we have a whole bunch of choices, as you can see here. Construct a check button widget with the parent master, right? Now let's add a little text to it and assign it a variable. So for text, we'll just do text equals, let's say, mail, and assign it the variable mail. Right? Super simple. Might as well also grid it. So if you want to put it in a grid, what you can do is you can do dot grid, right? And you can give it a row and column. So I'll go for row 1, and I'll make it sticky equals true. I'm pretty sure it works like this, right? Oh wait, sorry. Sticky equals W. Uh, uh, um, uh, just a minute. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Just remembered. Anyways, so I just set it to row 0 and just copy paste the entire thing. and this time we'll do female and give it an F and give it the 0 1, and I messed up. Just a second. Right, print M, print F. Right, can you see it? We have a single window here which has two options on it, male and female. So I'll go for male. And as you can see, it only shows none. Maybe it's because there is no value being assigned to it. Alright, let's also one thing about check buttons is that you do not have to pack it, right? So let's do male and then do female, and then we will print it out once the window closes. The one thing about check buttons is that you do not have to pack it, unlike other widgets in your main screen. So let me just click on male, and then if we remove it, hmm, okay. Uh, right, so that was basically how check buttons will work out. Um, and I'll get back to you in a moment. Mm, Alright, so I'm back. Now, I have created a little bit of a small code, not too much, right? Just a little bit off screen. So what you see here currently in front of you is the master. We have created master screen, right? TK. And then labels. We have created two labels. How do labels work is that you give it a master and then you give it a value for text. It works just the same as your button, but better. And I forgot to give the button a master screen, right? So I have created two labels which say first name and last name, and in front of the and put them in row 0 and 1, right? So yeah, wait, 3. Then we have created two entries. Entries are basically single line inputs. There's not much to it. You can only put one thing, and there it is. There is it. That is it for entries. And then entry one will and then I took two entries for first name and last name, and then put them on a grid again. I put them on a grid, and then basically there will be first name, and in front of it there will be the entry box. Then there will be last name. In front of it there will be an entry box, and then below both of them there will be a close button to close the window. Right, quick and easy. And now let's run it. And as you can see, it is beautifully working. I should probably expand it a bit. Make it shorten here and expand here. Right, so as you can see, we have our Tkinter window. Now we have got first name input, so let's say Timmy and programmer. Right, that's it. That's all for this, and then we can click close to close the main program. And at the end, we can do print entry 1. Oh wait, dot get. That was a function, right? Yeah, and then print entry 2 dot get. Right. It just basically takes the values from entry 1 and 2, if I'm correct. It's been quite a while since I've done Tkinter. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. Just save the chat real quick. Huh. Alright, anybody has any like questions or anything? So there's one person. Um just hey, no, that's called a typo. You can't alright. So this right. Then it takes our entries. So I'm just gonna put Temi and I'm gonna close it. Right, so that's it. So that's a little program there. We have whatever we have done here is we have created our first name last name entry, and then we have created a close button, right? Then there is a few more things that there are, like for example messages. You can like send out some messages to like the user. You can send out a message to the user. Uh, but before I get to that, there's one thing called which is basically setting the color, right? So what you could do is just a second. Um Right. Now, if you want to give color, more colorful, you want to make your project. So what you could do, you could just type FG, and you could give it any color. So I think I'll go for something nice like um I don't know, cyan, and then if you try it out, my button should have a cyan coloring on it. Mm-mm. No, right. Yes, there we go. As you can see, it's not visible because cyan was the wrong color to choose, but it's turned cyan. Let me just expand this so that you can see it. If you can see it and you're not blind, it is cyan. I think I should go for a different color, like red, because red would be more visible. Let me just run this once more. Yeah, as you can see, it's turned red. The button has turned red. Now you could do this for anything. So let's say you want a black screen. So what you could do is wait just a second. Oh, there's some lag today. I don't know. And there was the only person that was watching. Okay. Ah. Hello, whoever's watching right now. Can you just send us hi in the chat? Right. So as I was saying, you can use that to set the background color of your button. Very easy. I see one person's watching. Hello. Who's it? Who's watching? Hey, who's watching, yo? We got two concurrent beers. Yo, thanks. So, as I was saying, right. So that's how you give color. Now, you can even create a small menu. So, for example, you want something like uh, let's say this, right? I'll create a small menu to show you how it works, basically, right? So, what I'm gonna do here is over here at the top. I'll just do my menu equals menu, right? So this is what we can use to create a menu, and then we can add a few labels to the menu, right? So for example, um, let's see, uh, menu dot wait wait. So we have to create a root for the menu. So let's say menu equals root. Oh god, what is right? So we have to create a master for the menu, and this will be our master screen basically. So we can just do menu and then add a small cascade to the menu by just doing menu.add underscore cascade, and then do label, and then give the label some name like file, or let's say um, Temi, and then menu equals let's say about, wait, my menu, right? So that was it. uh just a second, I'll be back. um as you can see here, we have just created a small program which let's add a little small menu which just says Temi, and then there'll be two options which will be about and there'll be test. So just run it. Something went wrong there. Forget to oh yeah, I forgot to configure it. Wait, no. Wait. Alright, yeah. Okay. So I'm supposed to configure it before, and go ahead. Screen dot config menu equals menu. This is just set the menu as that menu, right? Run it once more and let's see the output. Aha. Oh no. Oh god, there's a huge problem. Apparently it's not visible on this because it's okay, it's not visible on the main thing, but let me just try getting. Okay, there is a small problem that you cannot really see it because you see it's not really a part of the window, the main window. In the main window, if you can see here, you will only be able to see a portion of my window, right? This is like the main window and the file part. This is what we have created basically. But the problem is it's not visible on the screen because I don't know, it's probably my streaming software issue. If you try this for yourself, I'll give you a moment and you can try this for yourself and it will work just fine for you. Right, just try it for yourself and let me know. I'll give you a moment. I'll give you a moment, and you just try this for yourself and let me know. I'll be getting back to you in a while. Alright, I might have to wrap up the stream a little quicker, cause it's like already been more than half an hour. But I might have to wrap this up a little quick. Uh, I was actually finding a way in which I can show the little menu we had created, but it seems like it's not going to be possible. Um, so I'm just looking for alternatives which I can use, right? Mm, okay, what? Uh, right. So there's no way I can actually show it, but you just try it out for yourself and let me know. It should work if I'm correct. Right, so let me just zoom out a bit and you can see the code, all that we've written by now. Right? So just go through the code and uh, get back to you. Now, one thing you can do is you can create a function. Let's say a small function up here. Uh, since it's screen.destroy, we're just gonna give it the name. Let's say uh, change. Let's create a small def change, and it's basically gonna do ABC equals, right? I mean do so. This is a function which is called dot update. I'm not sure if it's still there in the new versions. Um, Let me just check if it's in there in the new versions. Right? In the old versions, there is a small method which is called update. I think they changed it to config now. Right? And you can just do oh wait, no, we have to do text, right? Because it's a label on its own. So text equals lat uh primary name. Let's say we'll get it to primary name. So what this should do potentially is that it should change the label from first name to primary name. It's not as hard as it sounds, but right, okay, it's non-type object. Um, and then we pack it. Right. We have to pack it down here. Right. So ABC dot pack. Mm, okay. Okay. Some reason we are getting a smaller. That should fix things. Okay, let's try this now. This should work now. Yeah, there we go, finally. So if I click this, it should turn to primary name. Let's go. As you can see, it worked. I mean, I'll just play this once more so you can see again. Hmm, nobody's watching. Well, who am I talking to? Just wait for the window to show up. There we go. So we have first name, and as soon as I click this button, it changes to primary name. So let me just close the window, and there we go. So those were just the basics, just some small basics, right? Now, without wasting any more time, I think we should get into a little more advanced programming. So I'll just get back to you, and I will show the new window. So get back to you in a moment. Right, I'm back. I'm back. So just turn the music. Okay, so now what I've created here is a very simple program, which basically says that. Uh, so I've already created this once before, so I'm just using the same code from what I had already created. Right, I'm just gonna be teaching you how I have created it. Very simple. So what we have done is we have created a variable which I've named as clock, which will be a label, right? And its master would be our main screen, and then we'll give it a background white and a background black and a foreground white, and then we'll pack it, and then it runs the screen. All right. Uh, it's loading. Right. So as you can see, we have nothing yet. We just have a small black dot here, and that's it. And then we have this white on the back. How do we add some things more to it? So for that, we will create a function which we'll call as update, right? Uh, so we'll just do clock.config, and then over here we'll use text equals. Now I've taken two more libraries. I'll explain if I have taken this library later, but for now let's focus on this library, which we will call it as time. So text will be time.strf time, right? Now let's see here. We have to get $h, $m, and where is the seconds? And $s. So what we'll do is we'll put here $h, right? $m, $s, right? So that's it. There's a little more to it. I'll just get back to you in a second. Again, I'm really sorry. There's a little skipping and jumping. I'll just get back. All right, I'm back. I'm back. No worries. I'm back. So now we'll be doing clock dot after 1000. Now this 1000 is 1 second. Okay, and then we will do update. So we'll just call the same thing, right? The function as it is, and then once we're done packing it, we will then call out update, and we'll just give our screen a title. It's called clock, and that's it. Now I'll be adding a little something to it, which I'll call as a font. Right, so you can just copy paste it. I'll just post this in the chat, and you can copy paste it. It'll also be in the comments later on, comment section. So I have put it up in the chat. You can copy paste the same thing, right? So we're using dosis in consolata, which is basically a little font. So font is equal to my font, right? So this is what I've created here. So this little font you can use to make things look better, right? A whole lot better. And now let's run it. And if you can see it, we have we have a well working clock here. And the only problem here is that it is showing a 24-hour clock, not a 12-hour clock, which is not what I like. But hey, a clock is a clock, who cares? So that was it for today's tutorial. Tune in for another video and I will see you later.